Hey kids, good morning. Mark Miller here. I think we're going to get a call from Rory here. He's going to join us here in a minute. Welcome. Looks like I got a little bit too much volume up here. Let me change that a bit. That's probably a little bit better according to my levels. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Let's get in here. Let's get into some coding as quickly as we can here. And he's immediately here. Hey kids, Kobe's Alpha's here. Welcome. Kobe's Alpha, love watching your fanfare. How you doing? I hope everybody's doing well since yesterday. Staying safe, staying away from folks. Yeah, hope you're doing good. Yeah, Roy hasn't called. Usually calls a little sooner. I didn't reach out to him this morning. Could be my bad too. I suppose I should go out there and say, hey buddy, like that. Let's see what he says. Like that. See if he joins us. All right, so I want to pick up from where we left off. Let's show you where we left off. We were in the process of getting Shillelagh, is that how I'm pronouncing it? I think, could be something you were telling me how to pronounce it yesterday. I think it's Shillelagh is what I think that is, the pronunciation of that. Let me know if that's correct. We were working on it and we got kind of close. So when we cast the spell, it asks us, what weapon do you want to cast it on? Shillelagh. Wow. That's messing with my mind there. Shillelagh. Okay. I'm working on it. I'm getting my my Irish pronunciation on here. So the cool thing about it is what we did yesterday, cast spell, it figures out what weapon she's got. She's got a javelin and a sling. That's Irish Gaelic for you. You know, I was on, I don't know, Irish Airways as a kid. And when we landed, they started speaking Irish. And I was like mind blown because it does not sound like any Romance language that I had heard before. And so it was very, very surprising to me to hear that. Target which weapons? So oh, here he is. Rory. How you doing?
Sorry I'm late.
No worries. I'm like just, I'm chill. I'm hanging out. You can show up if you want to. I just assume that you will do it if you want to. And
I will always be here if I can. The only reason I'm late today is because I've been trying to figure out what it was with my internet connection, because it was definitely very, very much not good yesterday. And I think I found the solution.
Yeah.
Turns out when you're confined into a building with a family of 5 or potentially more in your case, you've all got to share the internet.
Those sons of guns.
Turns out when you're downloading gigabytes of games in the next room, it tends to affect your dad's connection.
I'm going to book a flight over to the UK and I'm going to give those kids a talking to.
Okay, that'll work.
I will give them a talking to. Those sons of guns. Yeah, hold on.
Well, we've used it as a teaching exercise, so now they understand the idea of scheduled downloads in their gaming system. So they're all going to happen overnight now.
All right.
So that's not too bad.
That's cool. That's really cool. Let me get over here. I wanted to use featured chat if I could, but I'm not. Am I in the wrong one? Maybe I'm in the wrong one here. Got to get it to a wider monitor. So are you doing good?
I am. I'm doing good. I'm actually doing significantly better now that I get to do this with you. This is an enjoyable highlight part of my day. This is fun.
I'm kind of like that. I'm having fun with it too. That's one of the things I like about this as well. It's definitely generally not really bad. It's kind of where we get to on that.
Fair enough. Yep.
I'm using. So why am I not seeing anything from the chat room? It looks like, do I need to refresh this? I'm using featured chat here, and I'm expecting to see the chat room showing up here, but I'm not. I'm seeing stuff from yesterday, but not today. Really, really unusual to me. click on this one, it loads that one.
We have a relatively small set of people in the chat room at the moment. That might explain that.
No, it's like it shouldn't explain. These are all yesterday's messages. It's like it's not getting the new messages. Okay, well, we'll see if anything new shows up there. Rory Becker says, hi, there we go. I got that one, but we didn't get Codebase Alpha. Why not? That's weird. Anyway, Codebase Alpha says he speaks Welsh, which is a Celtic language, and Irish is still a bit of a mystery to me. Okay. Yeah. So it's Shillelagh is the name of this spell right here that we've got up on board. So that's Shillelagh. Let's hide the scroll down. Oh, wait, we're in this point. Choose which weapon. So I'm going to say, let's use the javelin. Now, the javelin, the spell lasts a minute once, we cast it. So we just started casting it. We're not seeing messages inside it. Let me close. Well, I don't know. Let's add a minute to this. So now we're past the spell time. Did the clock update? Yeah, it did. Okay. And let's go to the javelin, and the javelin is 1d6 piercing. That's what the javelin is. When we cast Shillelagh, am I getting that right? Oh no, wait. Shillelagh.
That sounds good.
Shillelagh.
I'd be saying Shillelagh, but
I'm having trouble.
My Irish heritage probably clashes with the Welsh and the Scottish, and it's all Celtic at one level or another.
Shillelagh. When we cast Shillelagh on the javelin, what happens is one of the things it's going to do is it's going to, wait, where did I hit cast spell, but I didn't see the question for what to target. There we go, javelin. So now when we bring up the javelin, there's, I guess, what is changed? It's, the modifier has added another +2 to it. So that's coming because instead of using our strength of our character, so our strength of our character is a 10, which gives us a +0, okay? But we're going to use our spellcasting modifier ability, which is wisdom, which gives us a +2. And the reason this is not a +2, it's a +4 instead, is because we have a proficiency bonus, and this character is proficient with the javelin. Okay? So the fact that this is going to a +4, there's all kinds of things going on to get it there, but it's right. Now, what's not right is the damage dice is still a 1d6, and I'm pretty sure that's supposed to change to a 1d8. Let's go look at the spell description.
I seem to remember something you were altering yesterday that added a d6. Is that overlapping at all with this?
No, it's not.
In the same scenario?
No, that was Hunter's mark, and that added a d6 to the damage dice, which is different from replacing the damage dice, which is what we have to do. So yeah, the weapon's damage die becomes a d8. That's it right there. In fact, let's bold that like that. Yeah, so basically this is the description of it. And so we need to replace. So we need to write some code to replace. So let's go back over here. And I think this is where we want to put that code. So on get attack ability is an event that is called on the spell when we need to check to see what the player's attack ability is going to be. Well, I say I could do this, but I could also put it over here and on cast. No, I can't. It's not on cast. It could be on player. It's got to be on player, I think, prepares attack or player attacks. It's got to be in one of these two. That's where we have to do it. This expression.
The cast is when it actually does take effect, right?
Right.
You're trying to judge, is that allowed in the first place?
Yeah. So this has to happen later. So now we've casted the spell like maybe 50 seconds ago, and we have 10 seconds left on the spell. The player prepares an attack. That's when I think we need to do that. So it could be as simple as this, like replace damage dice, and we put in a 1d8 slashing. Is that what this is? Well, we don't know. It's the type of whatever the weapon is. So it's going to just be like that. That's, I think that's the code. So this code is evaluated by our expression evaluator, which means we need to create a replace damage dice function. And well, let's see if it works here or not, because it could be that we're adding the dice later. We're determining the damage dice just before the attack, in which case I might want to move this over to this column instead. But I'm going to keep it here for now. Let's download a CSV version of this. And let's go out to this folder, replace our spells. And let me copy this to the clipboard. And let's go. Now this is just running standalone. It's not running from a debugger yet. I think we can close this down. We're going to start making changes to code. So I'm over here in Visual Studio. I've got CodeRush loaded. This is my Dungeons and Dragons app. It consists of the main app, which is right here, and my D&D core, and an assembly with a bunch of test cases in it. That's kind of the core essence of what is going on in this solution. So inside the core, actually down here, we've got the expressions folder, and that's where we keep the expression evaluation functions, as well as other things for that. And now I want to just kind of come in here, and I'm just going to grab, where did we add dice function? Let's kind of go there as and use that as a template for what we want to build. So I'm just going to select that whole thing. Would have been faster to I just hit CodeRush's selection increase. I can do that with one keystroke, just boom like that. Then Shift Enter to duplicate the line, duplicate the selection rather. And now we are going to call this replace damage dice function. And it's going to replace the damage dice. I can hit escape here to get rid of all of those. And I could do this. I could just kind of go in there and do this piece right here. I just noticed I've got that waving. Is that distracting you, the waving?
I'm good.
You're good? Let me know if it's distracting you. Let's start up some music here too. Get that going. So at least if you're not good, you'll at least get some music to listen to. Surly Dev snuck in. Hey, Surly Dev. Hi. How you doing, buddy?
Welcome, Mr. Dev. Mr. Surly Dev.
That's Mr. Dev to you.
Yeah.
All right.
He's going to get a big head now, isn't he?
So I think I want to just go, I almost want to model it after add dice. I think I'm a little bit worried about it in that if I do that, what I'm doing if I model it after add dice is I'm essentially creating like I'm creating variables to augment the roll just before it comes out. So if we were to come in here and duplicate this and make it be replace damage dice string, then we'd need to kind of create some sort of override piece in here, like something like this, like override replace damage dice. I don't know, something like that. We'd set it equal to the dice string. Then we'd have to do something with that.
Right, so effectively you store the dice that you're hoping to replace with, and then later on discover this and actually perform the replacement.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. So we would do this. This would just be a string, and it would be that, and it's going to be equal to s.e. Hold on, s dot. Wow, it's just Visual Studio is just pumping that in there for me. Anyway, s.e like that is a CodeRush template for getting to string.empty. So now we have this. Now we have to use this at the right spot. This is going to be changed when the player prepares attack while this spell is active. So between the time it's cast and the time it's dispelled, this event will be called for Shillelagh. I think I got it right that time.
Yeah.
For Shillelagh. Okay, so now we've got to, on player prepares attack, right after that is when we're going to kind of mess with that and see it. So let's go see if we can find the trigger for, I think it's going to be like trigger player prepares attack. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Creature prepares attack is here. I'm just going to use tab to next reference to kind of work my way through the code here and see where we've got it. It's coming from creature prepare attack. And also when we call targeting. Okay. Let's see where these are called from. Okay, that one seems to kind of loop around without, I'm trying to, there's the one, I was looking for one that would get me into here. Main window.xaml.cs. So player taking action comes in here. If it's an attack we call prepares attack, prepare attack, that will now set that override for that player. Okay, now let's look at player taking action. There. All right, activate shortcut for player. Okay. Activate shortcut old is not called by anybody yet. Okay. All right, let's selection increase this. Let's comment that out. All right. So at this point, we now have that override. Where's current role? Modifies existing role. Here's where we get it from action shortcut. So now the action shortcuts that modify existing role are few. There are not many of those. So this upper block is not something that we really are going to worry about. But right down here is when we get our current role. This is where I think we want to make this change. So we've already called it according to the, what we've looked at in the code. That override should be there. So it now looks like it's player.override replace damage dice is kind of where we are. And I kind of want to say modify I was going to say modify role for player, but now I'm actually thinking get from. I want to add a parameter to this, I think. Let me see how many calls to get from are there. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's add a new parameter type character. Call it player. Set it equal to null. Like that.
So Mark, whilst we're doing this, let's quickly ask a question, because not being hugely familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, it's been some years since I played any, but, understand the basic principles. Your chance of doing things, you roll for the possibility of success. Are these usually, was it D12 or D20?
You roll a D20 to see if you... if an attack hits or not, you roll a d20 to see if you can save, do a saving throw.
And then presumptive of success of those things, you have damage dice for the attack in this case, right?
Yes.
And these are usually what?
They're all over the place. As you start off with a new character, they're usually like a D4, a D6 maybe a D8 as you get more advanced, or you might have a D12 or a D10. So the
purpose of the Shillelagh, is it a spell?
It's a spell that...
to replace your damage dice with something that's presumed to be better than it otherwise would have been.
Yes, correct. Yeah, let me show you. Let me get the... there's another... hold on a second. I want to open up the weapons table here. I think it's here.
And is this always a spell that affects the caster rather than allowing them to supply a target?
Yeah, in this case, the target is a weapon that is the caster's own weapon.
Okay, so they can't cast it at somebody else who would otherwise have D20 damage and significantly reduce that damage.
They can't, because I've got, they can't do that because my architecture doesn't support that. I may have to change the architecture to support it, but right now the on player prepares attack. This is the player who casts the spell.
Sure.
So that's the case. Kobe Salva says, originally there was a table you looked up in the DM's guide. Taco was later an improvement. What is THACO? I don't know what that is. THAC0 maybe. I think I've heard it, read it once, and I don't know what it is. I wanted to bring up the weapons table. Maybe it's here. Here it is. Ooh! The music's so scary. Look out for that spear, Coding Gorilla. Coding Gorilla in the house. How you doing, Coding Gorilla?
THACO is to hit armor class 0. So to hit somebody with no armor. It's presumably a scaling of difficulty in doing so.
Coding Gorilla got it too. Everybody got it. Death Knight. Everybody. This is me. I should know that. I need to know what.
I use Google.
To hit armor class 0, back when armor class was a descending number. Oh. Okay. AC 0 was a lot of armor. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's the weapons chart right here. And you can see the damage die right here. Right? So in a lot of cases, the D8 is not an improvement. Holy cow. It's a setback.
So if you were carrying most of those weapons, you'd be choosing not to do this.
Yeah, well, wait, hold on. That's a two-handed. I was in the two-handed damage column. The one-handed column damage is D4, D6. Yeah, D4, D4. So
Lance there. Wouldn't want to cast it if you had the Lance. On D12 to start with.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So, got to be careful with these spells.
Let's look at this. I'm going
to assume, though, that a spell is like any tool in the box, right? It can be used for incredibly stupid things if you're not careful. It's totally, plausible to take your own head off with a hammer if you'd use it in a dumb fashion.
Yeah. Shillelagh damage dice for two-handed. Now this is interesting because you would have jumped to a D10 like other weapons do. Nope, but you can ask your DM or allow it. Okay. Well, guess who's going to allow it? I'm going to allow it.
Not content with level A of difficulty, we're going to up to maximum overdrive.
I want it to be. I think I want it to look like this. Look, if what is it? Weapon is. I wish I had IntelliSense here. I think its weapon is two-handed.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to do. They said D10, right?
The guy hypothesized that.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw it to a D10, and then I'm going to come down and else it. Make it a D8. And let's make sure this is real. Nope, it's not real. What is it? It's going to be in properties over here. I think. No. I thought I had two-handed here. Let's see if I can find 2H.
There it is. Middle of that.
Just two-handed. Okay. All right, so let's go back over here. So it's just two-handed.
Does anyone else feel like Javelin should be able to knock drones out of the sky?
Yeah, they should. I think other people feel that way, yeah. Okay, so now we've got two-handed. If two-handed, replace damage dice with D10. Otherwise, replace it with a D8. Okay.
There.
That would be awesome if all that worked. So now I'm passing player in, and now what I want to do is this. Where's my damage type? Min damage modifier. I think I want to just set a breakpoint here, actually. Let's do that. Set a breakpoint. Let's run it. See if we can figure it out from the data once we get down in here. Could be self. It's got a link to the original spell. Shillelagh. Talking to Det out there.
It's great. It's even got pronunciation there, confirming that you are right. Godlike pages that claim you're right.
Oh, nice. Shillelagh. Got it. That makes it. All right. Let's initialize player data. Yeah, I was on point. I think Death Knight. I need to add Death Knight to my list of folks to on my backlog for fanfares. I really like that name. All right, let's get that list up. All right. And okay. Death Knight says thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see. Once I get it, let's make that happen. All right. So I thought I hit initialize player data. Cuddly teddy bear. I love it. On a horse with a what are those things called, Roy, that you hold on to them? They're like, they got the big pokey stick at the end of them. You know what? The lance. It's called a lance, isn't it?
There you go.
Is that it? Yeah, with a lance, but the lance is all bloody. Is that? Can we do that on this show?
Sure.
I don't know. All right, there we go. Let's see. All right, so here we go. Shillelagh. Boom. I'm going to skip past this breakpoint this time. I'm going to now cast it on the javelin. Then I'm going to use the javelin. And the player is null. Oh, we forgot to pass it in. We want to pass the player in. All right, so let's get out of there.
So we've got your messages coming directly into this chat now from Dragon Humpers DM. Is that automated, or has somebody got that moniker?
That is automated. It's coming in because we are now running from a debug session. So I wanted to see, I wanted people to see the messages that we would normally see during the game. Yeah, it looks like someone's trying to kill Fred with a javelin.
But watch him duck and weave. See, he's avoiding it nicely.
All right, let me add 10 minutes here. Get rid of Shillelagh. Do it again. Cast Shillelagh. Now we're passing in player. Good. Player. Good. Just run it for this time. Cast it on the javelin. Then I want to go to the javelin. And now I got a player that's non-null coming in. And now what I want to do is something like this. Well, let's go through. Where's the damage die on here? There it is, right here. This is the place where we are modifying it. What I miss? Can you really?
I was asking if you can do that.
The spell components mention a club or quarterstaff. Oh no! No! Do they? That's not good.
Well, that's all right. We can make it work first, and then add a condition that it be one of those afterwards, right?
That's true. Let's make it work first. Club or quarterstaff. I need a club, 3D club animation as well. That would be fun to have. All right.
The original link, as passed to us by Codebase Alpha earlier, turns your simple wooden weapon into a powerful bludgeoning implement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
Oaken club, mistletoe, and a shamrock leaf. Yes, of course, you must have your components. So that suggests starting with a club. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll get in there. This is where we want to change the code. It's around in this space right here. So we're going to go here. So we're at 1d6 piercing. And I want to keep it whatever the type is, just modify it. So I think what I want to do here, I guess I want to run that there. Then I want to say, hey, look, if player is not null, and player dot override replace damage dice, we want to basically do a string dot is null or empty on that. We want it to be not null or empty. If that's the case, then we want to do the override. But here's the thing though. Well, here's the thing. We're not going to keep that type in there. Now somewhere in here, I've got a class that I think has got the word dice details in it. Something like that. Dice details. Now let's just try details. Die roll details. Die roll details. From. All right, so check this out. We're going to call die roll details.from on it. And we're going to pass in the original. We're going to get this back here, declare local. We're going to say this original roll like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the replacement roll. Here we want to pass in this. And now what we want to do is take a look at those two and compare the two. Let's F10 and just look at the data as we get down there. Is it going to work? 1d6 piercing, 1d8. Cool. So now what we can do is say, hey, if replacement roll dot rolls, I really almost, it's like, this supports multiple rolls, right, separated by semicolons. But if the roll count is 1, and rolls of I dot wait, I've got number of sides, the offset. Where's the type? Is it, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not in the rolls. Where's the damage type? Okay, I'm really confused. Let's go in. See if we can figure this out. It's the descriptor is what it is. Did I miss that? There it is. Okay, so I just missed that property. Okay, so we've got, if the descriptor, that's a string, is that right? It is. So that's going to be the kind of damage. So now I want to say, and descriptor dot, well, I don't know. Say it's null or empty is what it will say there. And okay. Oh, it's not null. It's parens. It's empty parens. So we'll do that check instead. If that's equal to a set of empty parens, then what I want to do is say, I think, the descriptor is equal to original roll. Well, we need to see what its descriptor is. Let's do something different here. Not now, pudding.
Always at the critical moment.
This is everybody. Oh. So I think I'm going to create a function called getFirstDescriptor, like that. And then I think I'm also going to create a similar one that is called setFirstDescriptor, like that. And then I want to pass in, I just think it simplifies the code a little bit more, this dot, and then call getFirstDescriptor. Should I just make it a property?
Sounds plausible.
All right, let's make it a property. All right, so that's it. So if the first descriptor is empty, then the first descriptor is equal to the original roll. And then we're going to say, let's do this. Let's do an introduce local on this expression right here. I need to take this if null check and put it outside. Or I could just do this, null here, and then do this if. Looks like we're murdering Mark on stream. Why?
Drowning in pudding is the
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, it wasn't good.
general method of execution.
Okay, so now I've got this here. Then what I want to do is this point down here is I want to say the replacement dice is equal to the replacement roll dot, and I think it's just a two-string call on it right there. And then we're going to, yeah. So that will take care of the getting that descriptor in, I think. So let's do that. Let's declare this as a property. With default body, because that's going to give me a bunch of throw exceptions, empty pieces in here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say roles dot first or default. Descriptor. Wait, I just want to get the very first one. First or default. I think I want nothing in there. But I can't. Can I do a descriptor on this? Is it going to return null if there are none inside? I think default's going to return null, but then will this die right here? That's how I need to do it. I think that's it right there. Can I do the opposite of that? Equals value. This is like my lack of understanding on this. That's where I can't do it. That's where I have to do a check. So I have to kind of say, do a local and make sure it's non-null here, I think. And then if not null, then we're going to say first.descriptor is equal to value. I think that's it. Okay, so now let's come back over here. I think we're stepping through the code.
So this is just to make sure that when you replace the damage dice, it carries across the effect, the style of damage.
That's right. Yeah, exactly, Rory. So if it's piercing, I want to keep piercing. I want to stay piercing. Sure was null. Okay, let's get out of here. I think I just needed to back up a little more. Let's back all the way up to the top here.
Damage health extra dice apparently.
Yeah, we'd missed this line of code right here to set that equal to right there. That was, I think, the problem. So now we're at 1d8. Okay. Why do I not have... Oh, we got a code rush issue. Let's report this. Okay. I'm stepping through code, but I don't see... the debug visualizer. I've been stepping through it and I'm not seeing what's coming up. Now we've been doing a lot of edit and continue. You back up about 5 minutes and watch the video, you'll see that. Hold on just a second. Anyway, yeah, we're not seeing it. So when I hit F10, I'm expecting to see the values here. I wonder if we're having problems on another level. I'll send you the log files on this too. But let's hover over it. Yeah, I can see what it is. So, all right, well, at least we can do that. Let's close up the code issue here. Tried swatting Surly Dev over there. I thought I got him, but he's maybe just off to the side, and maybe I'm off to the side in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I think you're slightly to the right on our screens where you normally are.
Yeah.
That's outside the range of SWAT.
Yeah. Now I'm hitting the SWAT button, not going out of it. Let me finish up the code rush issue here. Put that out here.
I wonder if toggling debug visualizer on and off have any effect.
Let's report it and we'll try it. Turn it off, turn it on. There we go. Really weird. It was on, but yeah, it was not working. Look in the log file, see what we got. So now, replacement role is over here. Yeah, let's click to evaluate. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So that's what we're looking for. That's good. And the code's nice now, right? If the first descriptor is that empty, then we're going to assign the descriptor from the original role.
The nice part about this is that although this will support Shillelagh and whatever limitations we put on it, vis-a-vis the wooden club kind of logic, it will also allow us to have this same effect in other spells that may work in a similar fashion.
Yeah.
And to allow for the broader spectrum of things to continue working. So we've patched the code to allow the functionality, but made very sure not to break anything in the first, as we do it. So it's really good. So
there you go. This is the key. This is what the goal of what we've been trying to get to is this piece right here. Let's go ahead and run it. And now we got a 1d8 right there. And if we roll the attack, it's a d8. There's the damage dice. Okay, good. So let's just for kicks bring up that spell again and take a look at it. The wood
of draw our attention to a little bit of work that I think it was Codebase Alpha did a little earlier up the chat there. I repeated his link that he put in there. When you click through, it shows you the Shillelagh itself. And sure enough, it actually is Celtic for club or, stick. So it does completely back up his point that this should only apply to that kind of weapon.
All right, we got to filter these out now. So now club or quarterstaff, we need a filter. Holy cow. All right, let's add it. It's exciting, isn't it? All right, so here we go. We need, I think, set spell target, get weapon target. We're going to add it. We're going to be able to pass in a filter. At this point, we're like, this player who has this is going to be like, oh, I need a club or a quarterstaff.
Searches floor for stick.
Yeah, right. So what I'm thinking about is this: club, comma, quarterstaff, like this. And so what it's going to do is it's going to search through your weapons to make sure you have any of those. And if you don't, I think you're going to see a message. I don't know. Do we get an abort?
An abort's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. What might be slightly more troublesome is if there happens to be more than one club-like weapon in their possession.
No, because
any notion of choosing it?
Yeah, we'll get those. Those I'm not worried about. We can get all those. Because of the architecture supports a carried weapon, and the carried weapon can have a name like my awesome clubbing of death or whatever it is, right? My awesome club of mystery. and it can have a name, but the core type is going to be a club or quarterstaff. It's going to come from that table, the weapon table that I had up earlier over here. So it's going to be something in here is a weapon, essentially. You've also got improvised weapons as well. I just realized weapons have commas in them here. So because weapons have commas in them, that means we need to separate by semicolons over here in our filter. So get weapon target is going to take an optional filter. Let's implement it. And yeah, what'll happen is every club will be listed in the box that appears. Okay. All right. All right. Let's save this. Okay. Get weapon target. We need to mess with that next. We can close this down. I mean, close this down. And we need to go to get weapon target right there. That's what we built. So now I think of min and max. So it's going to be expecting between 0 and 1 arguments. I want to just tab to next reference here because I want to just copy into this line of code here. So we're going to call this the filter. Yeah, kind of cool, right? With a little bit of code, we should be able to get this working. And now we've got a higher degree of sophistication on picking weapons, right? There may be spells that only affect cutting blades, for example. And I think we can similarly solve that. Okay, weapon filter. We want to set this equal to maybe null, like that. And then we want to say if not IP progress, if args.count is greater than 0, then I want to say weapon filter is equal to expressions.getString, and I just want to pass in all the same parameters here because there could be an expression inside of there, and I want to reevaluate that expression, whatever that is for that arg. So now that I've got that, then I want to say choose weapon. Let's come in here, add parameter, pass that in, the weapon filter. Let's put that there. Let's also default this weapon filter to equal to null, just in case anybody else is calling that. And we need to add that parameter here too as well. Got a raid coming in here. Full Stack Live rating. Thanks, Full Stack Live. Kessler6 says, make me a sandwich.
Everybody. I don't think we have a sandwich function in this D&D app yet, do we?
Not yet, but there are spells. There are spells that can make sandwiches. Absolutely. Do you want to see that? Sure, why not? Let's look at that. Let's get up. I'm going to bring up just a standalone instance of that. Kids, everybody, welcome from the rating stream. We're making Dungeons and Dragons special effects for a live stream on Twitch. Not on this one. This was my coding channel. But if you like Dungeons and Dragons, you want to watch people playing and having fun, you can go follow out at the twitch.tv/dragonhumpers. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit about what we're doing for folks who are new to the channel here. There we go. So different players, their stats can show up over there. We can cast a spell, like I'm going to cast Ray of Frost. There's Ray of Frost right up there, described. You can see that there. Looks better on a darker background, I think, with that glow in the back there. I can cast a spell, roll the attack on that. 2d8 cold damage comes out. Got 3D dice. We got sandwiched. We talk about sandwiching. We're actually sandwiching effects above and below the dice right there. That's cold damage. Let me just throw out some sample here. I'll throw out a fire damage for you. And throw out 2d8s of fire. Maybe make them D12s, actually. Here comes the 2D12 fire damage. Kind of cool. So the damage dice, I'm feeling hungry for some reason. Who's saying that? Kobe's Alpha? All right, let's get out. We'll show you some of the spell effects out there. The one of the spells that I was thinking about, Rory, when you said, do we have any sandwiches in this game, is Hero's Feast. There nice. You go. So you kind of get a sandwich. There's your sandwich right there. Can eat some dice. Okay. Yeah, you can do that as well.
Job done.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got our spell. This is our spell book, which shows you each D&D spell. There's those custom icons we were working on, Roy. Remember that? We added a drag and drop ability so we could just drag those.
And it's worth pointing out once again that everything you see, pretty much everything you hear, has been created on this stream over the last year and a half.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half. Yeah,
from the ground up, C#, JavaScript, and then TypeScript later on.
Yeah.
And we're getting more professional as every day passes.
Yeah, we started out, we were like, on tricycles with lollipops. It was not good. We were like, and running into walls without helmets.
Oh, yeah.
That's
regularly.
First 20 shows, easily that.
That's how you determine the size of the room. Is you run around and you hit as many walls as you can.
Yeah, this is cool. I like this. This is Markdown support. We wrote our own Markdown engine in TypeScript. Essentially a cheap version of Markdown, but you can see bolded terms, you can see bold and italicized. You've got items, bulleted items over here. I've got a spell that brings up a table. So there's the table showing up in Markdown. In fact, there's complex tables too. I'm not remembering which ones have the biggest table. It's somewhere out near the end, I want to say. I don't know. Anyway. That's a little bit about what we've done there. Here, if you want to get totally over the top, mind-blowing, here's a test all damage that rolls all the damage, all the different kinds of Dungeons and Dragons damage, or at least most of them. There's one I forgot in here. We don't have psychic damage in here, but everyone else is listed out there. So, anyway, that's that. Let's clear the dice. Let's go ahead and hide the scroll. 11d12 is a lot of dice. Yeah, it is.
That's one of the big reasons that we have a system to keep track of it all for us, because we don't want to have to do that ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so we got the weapon filter. I'm going to have to pass this in as a parameter. I'm in Visual Studio working in C# right now. I've got CodeRush installed. By the way, if you want a free copy of CodeRush, just ask for it in the chat room. Because I care. All right, we're going to add weapon filter in there as a parameter inside of there. We've just put that in there. CodeRush just did that for me like that. Now I'm going to hit the CodeRush key again, and I'm going to say declare property with initializer. And so now I've just added that and the initialization inside of there. And I think that's all I need to do from this side of things. Hey, how you doing, baby?
Good, I'm leaving you.
You going to leave me? Yeah, you going to do some errands?
I'm going to go do some errands.
Yeah, do you want a sexy kiss on behind the scenes? There you go. Didn't want anybody to. It's a family show. All right, I love you, baby.
I love you.
Can you be safe and careful?
Let's hope so.
And smart and all of that?
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Okay, baby. Well, call me. I can tell you, Roy, how many times, especially when we first moved here, I'd get a call and cars in a ditch or in a river or something.
I've seen those posts on Facebook sometimes in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And there's it's like a series of posts of things that have gone wrong.
Yeah. And then I'm like running like a mile or two to go find them and help them get out. Full Cycle Live says, back in my day, people playing D&D were regarded as nerds. You are programming D&D, including graphic effects for the web. What does that make you? Yeah,
Scary question.
It's funny though. My wife was like, "You're a geek, you're a nerd." She's like, "I'm cool, you're not." Like that. And I'm like, wait, I'm not actually a nerd because I guess I'm a coding nerd is what it is. I love coding, but I really don't play games very often. I'm really not like a person who collects figurines or goes to Comic-Cons, that sort of thing. I think I've gone to one Comic-Con, to be fair. Yeah,
I personally gave up the idea of collecting physical things, as you say, figurines and stuff, simply because, well, I run out of room.
yeah, no, that's true as
I
well.
like my physical space.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. Space is good.
Unfortunately, I do tend to collect lots of virtual rubbish. So,
Yeah. Oh, you do tend to do that? Are you a collector, Roy?
I don't know about collector. I have a lot of games on Steam and things like that, and I think, that looks like fun. And do I necessarily play them all? No.
Yeah. So right now,
Play some.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I do play some of them, just nowhere near as many as I apparently have.
Yeah. Right now, the biggest collection that's kind of squeezing me tight that I have are video assets that I've downloaded for for creating the for creating all the stuff that I create.
Probably doesn't help when I sort of point you in the direction of a bunch of graphics for things.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Collecting programming ebooks. Surly Dev earlier said I was waiting for her to turn around and say, "Can you?" Okay, so we've got the weapon filter now. We should be able to filter it out. I think while we're running, I'm just going to run it because I think we have all the data we need.
So to give some specific background, again, for those who joined us, yes, we're doing a big Dungeons & Dragons game management system here as well, but the specific task we had today was we're implementing the spell Shillelagh, which, from what we understand, is supposed to replace the damage dice on a weapon that is essentially a club to enhance the damage of that club. So the way this runs is that we've got a CSV, a kind of a Google data sheet with all of the specifics. So here is my weapon, here is the particular amount of damage dice it's supposed to use, plus a description, things like that. But we enhanced it. We have columns in there which actually have code that is interpreted and run through. So decisions are made based on, is this a two-handed or a single-handed weapon, and shall we roll this dice or that dice? So what we've been doing is making sure that when we cast this Shillelagh spell on a weapon, that it first of all does replace the damage of that weapon with the 1d8, but make sure also not to remove any specific style of damage. So for example, we have piercing damage, admittedly not on a club, that is not how clubs work.
Right.
You can imagine that a weapon that had a similar spell cast on it, you'd want to maintain that damage type. And so we've had to make sure that that is happening in just our most recent piece of code. So hopefully that will all work rather well.
Yeah. Full Sec Live says, I can relate to the coding nerd. I always avoided programming Twitch API chat stuff because the cliche rite of passage for live coders. See, now nobody told me that. I went right into it because, it was great fun. But now that I've started actually coding a chatbot, I have so much fun and satisfaction doing it. Yeah, it's beautiful, right? You can test out both live, you can test out inside of a browser window, but you can also test out live on the stream, which is fun to do. Agent 9191 says, even better is the code open source. It is Agent 9191, but the problem is all the assets are not licensed for everybody to share. So, and that's like the bulk of, some of the beauty that's here. But the code is there. There's the code right there. I'll put it in the chat room so you can see that. There it is right there. Your D&D rule set engine model must be pretty interesting piece of code. Yeah, here's what I'll tell you. I think it's interesting. And
I'd have to agree. Yeah, it's definitely.
It's in Google Sheets. That's where the rule.
Yeah, that's the awesome bit.
That's the rule model part. So I've got all my spells here. I've got what is it really 320 something? Wow, there's a lot of spells. I thought I only had about 200 of them. That looks like about.
Yeah, because that would still have been quite a lot.
There are 2 test ones at the end. There are about 390 spells. Okay, interesting. Not all of them are programmed in, but we can do things like Ray of Frost. We can add a sound effect, right? That sort of thing. So that means, are we running yet? Did we get a build?
Full Stack Live says, databases are a thing, right?
Yeah. I know.
Well, a CSV file is a database, right? I mean,
I know. No, he's right.
Kind of.
I don't know how to code as in a I'm not a database guy. I'm not. 20 years ago, the vast majority of programmers were database programmers, and at that time I was like, I'm not a database guy. Do you want to know how much database programming I've learned since then? 0, pretty much 0. So 20 years ago, I'm not a database guy. Now I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to learn. CSV is not a database. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
But that
It's not.
cardboard box on the floor next to me, that's a database, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
No.
That's like the stack
I
of
can put
pads.
data in it. I
Yeah.
can get data back out.
All right.
Ta-da!
Let's do this. So initialize player data. Okay. Let's do this. Cast the spell, and we should get our breakpoint. Okay. So here we are. Now we've got a filter in here. Here's where we add it. We're adding based on I going through all the weapons count, but we really need is an index here of successful ones that we've added. So we'll say index is equal to 0. I hate using the word index starting with 1. So we'll just call it weapon number like that.
Okay.
And now I'm going to come down here. We're going to add the weapon number and we're going to increment weapon number like that. CSV file is a database, in quotes. Sysadmins have killed Excel users for less.
So I want to be clear here. I think a CSV file is a database, but an Excel spreadsheet is not. I consider CSV to be superior to Excel because, as they say, you can't trust the matrix. It lies to you about what it sees.
Okay.
CSV and Notepad, nothing's being hidden.
All right. All right. You can't trust the matrix, says Roy. Now we need to see if the weapon is the right weapon and if it matches the filter. So let's kind of come down here and get inside of, I don't know, here, I suppose. So the weapon name, I almost think I want to come in here and I want to say, create a new string that's going to be the weapon kind. And I'm going to come down here and assign that to it. Because that's going to be whether it's a dagger or a longsword or whatever. Okay. Then
This is where there's the two-part name, like what was it, Club Heavy and Club Light.
yeah.
So you just can take the club piece out and call that the weapon kind.
No, it's more, the distinction is if carried weapon has a name, that's like the magical name, the name of the famous weapon, right?
Sure.
So I might have, Mark's, dagger of poking as the name, but the carried weapon dot name, this is just going to be dagger in that example. So I'm going to say weapon kind is here. So if the weapon name is empty, then we're going to say weapon kind. But now we want to filter out. So I think what I want to do is I want to say, hey, look, if if EA dot filter, weapon filter, I want to is null or empty on this. So TS, so if not, is null or empty. Weapon filter, then I want to come in here and check to see if weapon kind, if weapon filter dot index of, let's do this. Oh, jeez. I'm running into a bunch of conflicts here with names and things like that. I don't want to make that just all lower. So I'm going to create a new variable that's going to put this in lower. So if weapon filter, let's do this. Let's create a new, do the same thing here. Filter lower and set that equal to null. And then we're going to say if EA weapon filter is not null, then weapon filter, filter lower is equal to EA weapon filter dot to lower. Just because I want to do an index of is what I'm trying to do. Okay. Now, okay. So if filter lower, index of, weapon kind lower. So if that is less than 0, then I want to continue. I propose that. I submit this code for you as for your consideration. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And then otherwise we add the weapon and increase the weapon number. So at this point, let's come back up here to the top and start stepping through it. Look at it again, Rory. This is on, but I'm not seeing the values. Oh no, wait, now I am. I saw it. Okay, yeah, I guess it was okay because it was just that assignment there.
I'm going to say possibly you want to switch your index for contains, because I'm reckoning that will be more efficient. It'll work every bit as well, but if it does not contain is kind of what you're after, isn't it?
I've not seen contain before.
On the strings?
Yeah, I've not used it before. All right, cool.
Is it contains or is it substring?
No, it just contains is there. All right, so cool.
Now, in fairness, you were saying it should be not contains. So if not filter lower dot contains, because you were looking for less than 0 before.
Oh, you're right.
Excuse to quit.
Right, thanks for keeping me on track.
Break your code, because your code was in fairness correct already. I didn't want to make it worse.
All right, so here we go. It contains it, so we are. Wait, it does not contain it, so we are back up here. So we should get nothing with this, basically, no matches, and we're out. And there's nothing I can do. And so I don't even want to get to the ask question here, actually. I want to see if the weapons count is 0. So I've got to basically only come in here, say result is equal to 0, like this. Then if weapons.count is greater than 0, ask question target which weapon. But then result is greater than 0.
Scroll down a little bit. Fred's getting in the way of the code there. There we go. So we start with 0, and if weapons count is greater than 0, we get a chance to alter that fact. However, we then are going to do nothing this time because results shouldn't be greater than 0.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right here. So if there's, in fact, we just do this. Just like that. So
I forget the method we're actually in. I know where we're trying to do our comparison and get to the end, making sure that we've picked the right thing. But in the event of having nothing, is this the kind of place where we should output a message somewhere going, oh, there was nothing that worked?
Not here.
Either as an error or as a note to the dungeon master?
Not here, but we should do it here. So Shillelagh, we set spell target. I think at this point we want to say if spell target equals null.
Okay, yeah.
Then we want to tell all
player cast spell at extreme strenuous cost, only to find they did not have an appropriate weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to copy this and bring it over here in the tell all. So first names, Shillelagh spell completely failed because do I have a he, she? I think I might have a he, she. That will either say because he or his, oh no, his, her. She doesn't own any clubs or quarterstaffs.
Yeah. Because the nice bit about that feedback is that we do then learn, there was no problem, we just detected an absence of applicable material.
Something like, sheesh, what an idiot. Okay, so there's our, so let's try that and see if we get a message coming up. All right. Just reinitialize the data.
Come and see that Cornelia Wicklespit.
Cast spell. Here we go.
Spell target equals null.
I know what my problem is. Okay, we'll keep running that. Let's. Good. The exception was caught. It is, yeah, we have to use a get call on this right here. Unfortunately, we have to do that, I think. And I think that's the fix. That's just kind of a limitation of the expression engine. All right, initialize player data.
Those files, they're all in source control, right?
Yep.
Good.
They are. The databases, you mean? The CSV databases?
Oh yeah, massively relational and distributed databases.
They're also, Google Sheets has built-in version control. You can go forward and backwards through time.
That's
All right, so Shillelagh, let's choose cast spell. I didn't see a message. I was hoping to see a message, and I did not see the message.
Michael Jolly.
All right, come in for a landing. Easy, easy. Pull up just a little bit. Oh, Michael.
need to spend more time in that taco simulator.
Yes. Let's spend more time in the taco simulator. Come on. Who are the new people? You tell me. Bald bearded builder. Bald bearded builder. We have a show Thursday night. Bald bearded builder. You better show up, buddy. Bald bearded builder. I can't even say his name. Why would he pick a name that's a tongue twister, Rory? Why? He had Michael Jolly. I had it. I had that down. Right. Triple B. If Triple B is like our unofficial writer, our unofficial unpaid writer for the Dragon Humber show. That guy comes up with some of the funniest comments in the chat room. We often will just stop and laugh because it's so funny whatever he's talking about. You try to steer in a tortilla and tell me about simulators. Come on, buddy, build your simulator. We know you can do it. I saw you make an animatronic blink as you were going like this. A jink, a jink, a jink. Okay. Spell target should be null.
See a message.
We did not see it.
We could have an else clause on there. Make sure that it at least passes by that branch logic.
Yeah, we could. Let me do this. I was just going to set a breakpoint in the tell all function.
See, I keep forgetting we have proper tools.
No, I'm just going to see what happens. Let's see if we get there. So let's add 10 minutes. Cast Shillelagh again. There's my tell all. What's it coming in as? What's this? Shillelagh completely failed. Because, does he, she? Let's see if we evaluate it. What we'll get to in the message down there. See what the message says. Because she doesn't own any clubs or quarterstaff. Jeez, what an idiot. All right, let's see if that comes out. It's not coming out here. I'm not going to blame anybody for that. I've sometimes seen like the connection to Twitch not working. I think it's.
Is this a different channel to the Cordelia cast Shillelagh? So one of them is to the Dungeon Master, the other is to everybody, and only one of those is coming to this channel?
Tell all goes to 3 different channels. It sends it to the Dragon Humper's channel, sends it to the Dragon Humper, the Dungeon Master, and it sends it out to the CodeRush channel as well if we are debugging and the debugger's attached. We should be seeing it here, but we're not, and I'm not sure why. And it says, I've seen though, if I step through the code, you know, like, where are we? We're running right there. But yeah, it looks like it worked, is what it looks like. So now the next thing is, what's the deal with Cornelia, and why doesn't she have a club? Let's get her a club.
Druids feel like they would have clubs.
Yeah.
Not a lot more than that, in fairness.
Let's go, where are her weapons? Right here.
Club,
Give her a club.
dart, javelin, longbow.
Right there. So that's Cornelia. Right there. So let's download those commas
I was
separately.
just reading proficiencies there for a minute, but no, you're right. It's a different column for the actual weapons.
Yeah, it's a little confusing that they're right next to each other. I almost feel like I should give this
Well,
a different
in
color.
fairness, you know, I could just read the words and I would have been okay. It's not like they were hidden.
All right, let's reinitialize player data. So now she's got a club.
Codebase Alpha, friend of the channel, is also, you know, having helped us get this far, is also helping us with the knowledge that this, as well as increasing the damage die, this spell also makes the club a magic weapon, right?
Right.
So it can hit creatures that can normally only be hit by magic weapons.
And I want to now make the weapon, the club, become magical is what I wanted to do. But I don't have any club 3D animation yet, so it's a little bit like, oops. But now we got a club. So now I can cast Shillelagh, and let's cast it on here. Let's just run past this. And that's my choice, the club. So I'm going to cast it on the
club or the club.
Yeah, we could almost just say if there was no, it does, you don't have to choose anymore. Because, you know, notice we are getting one message in here. The Dragon Humpers DM says Cornelia cast Shillelagh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
that's
the actual suggestion does work.
yeah. Let's add a minute. And let's go to do Shillelagh again. Let's close it down. I was hoping to see that second message come in here. Just going to tell all.
Pretty consistent. The casting is the only message making it through.
But it's really strange and bizarre as to why that's the case. So here's this, there's the viewers. Now we tell CodeRush as well. So here's the message to the CodeRush channel. Go and send message. Channel's CodeRushed. Says we haven't joined it. So we call join channel and then send message to that channel. Is it going to work? I don't see it. No exceptions. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
So it's almost a timing thing. It's almost like, you know, the...
So you're not allowed to send a second message because you recently sent one really, really recent.
Yeah, I don't quite get this. It's a mod. This is Dragon Humpers DM is a mod, so I don't understand why I'm having a problem with this. I don't get it.
No. But we have seen it now work at least once successfully, so that's good as a principle.
All right, so let's do this.
Although the thing is, she does now own a club.
But that I closed down without selecting it. I said I essentially canceled it.
Right.
Got the sun up here. Okay. All right. I want to do one more thing here, though. I'm going to just do add some test code since I don't have. Oh, you know what I could do? The quarterstaff. Let's put this. Let's bring this down. I want to make the weapon go magical. Is what I want to make it do.
Sure.
I want to go into players, and I want to give her. I want to give her quarterstaff too.
I presume weapons are already capable of a property or something similar called is magical or has magic, which you'll toggle on for the duration of the spell and then turn off again at its completion.
Yeah. Like it has to do if there's a +1 here. So when I define a weapon, I can give it a name, and this is empty. But like Lady's got a weapon called the Uniker, which is it's particularly good at doing damage. Hold on.
That's some precision swordplay there.
And yeah, and this +2 here or the +1 here, that means it's magical. And so that's what's going on. This parameter is what is the color of the weapon. So we can do color shifting, and if I choose player, it'll shift to the player's hue. And then this is the magic color 1 and magic color 2 hues as well. So we can have multiple hues of color, magical effects. So the
+2 is this is magical, but it's a degree of magical there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
But
the question is that when we cast this spell, what degree of magical is bestowed upon the weapon?
well,
Just a plus.
well, there's no plus that's actually given to it. So, so the code that determines if it's magical or not, for when we define it here, is kind of cheaply done. It's just grabbing that. It's looking for that plus. We need to live make the change to the javelin during that time is what we need to do. So I kind of want to figure that out, and I'm going to.
Code base out to suggest +0 magic weapon.
Well, but the thing is, if I write it in here, it's always magic, and that's not what I want to do. I want to make it so it changes and becomes magic in the moment. So let's figure that out. I need to do two things. Since I don't have quarterstaff specific animation, but quarterstaff is very close to a javelin, I want to animate the quarterstaff with the javelin animation. Is it done here? I think it's done here. I think I need to just copy these two and paste them down here and replace them with the words quarterstaff.
This, everyone, is the joy of data-driven coding.
Like that.
In no additional code, well, there is that.
I'm going to make it the quarterstaff a little smaller. I'm going to make it a 0.8 is what I'm going to make it. So we'll say 0.8. 0.8. And that's, I think, all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to make it about 80% the size of the others. We can do the sword drawing sounds as well for it. It looks like we need that for our javelin as well. Our javelin could use those same sound effects. So let's export this. All right, weapon effects are down. Let's initialize. Do I bring the players down? I don't think I did that yet. I don't think I've added this to get her that quarterstaff. Okay. Now, initialize player data. Cornelia. Quarterstaff. Okay, that was all we had to do to bring that up. Cool. Let's cast Shillelagh. Cast it. And now we have two choices, club or quarterstaff. I want to choose
Nice.
the quarterstaff. And now if I use it two-handed, we should see the D10. Remember that choice we made? And if I do one-handed, it
That's
should be a D8. Normally, what's the quarterstaff? Is it something less? Let's look at that. Quarterstaff is a D6 normally. Sweet. And it'll be bludgeoning. We should see bludgeoning. So when we pick the one-handed quarter, we should see a D8. Bludgeoning. Sweet. Look at that. And if we do two-handed, D10, please. Oh, no. Not there.
There.
Not there. Okay. What's my message coming in here? Okay. All right, I can clear this. Sling, javelin. What's interesting is we're not seeing the red underlines underneath this.
Getting plenty of messages coming through into the Code Rush channel.
Yeah.
This changing of so it wasn't timing in the same way as we thought.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it because it's like I stepped through the code and it's just like, well, we're not going to do it. So 1d6 bludgeoning. We're down to 1d6 bludgeoning here. That's 1d8, so that's correct here. Okay. Cast Shillelagh on the quarterstaff. All right. Boom. Bring it up. 1d. Whoa, that's 1d10.
Just did 10.
Oh, because this is checked. This checkbox
Right.
is checked. This checkbox should switch itself automatically when I go from one to the other.
Right, so it's showing both at the moment, regardless of the state.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be connected to at least one channel. Okay. All right. So I've got there's kind of an issue here between what's going on here. Why isn't the weapon is two-handed being checked automatically? That should happen. Also, we're not seeing the underlines under the selected items. Have we lost those completely?
I felt like we saw them earlier, though.
There.
Ah,
So, but not for weapons. Let's fix that. I want to fix that for weapons. We're off on a bug hunt. I feel like we need like a some kind of special.
What's in my code?
Off on the bug hunt, kind of a bug hunt, that kind of a thing.
charge!
Yeah, exactly.
I see bugs. That
Get
way.
that bug. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, like that. Okay. So highlight. I think it's called highlight. And this is a result of recent refactoring. Highlight rectangles. Okay. Build shortcut button. Highlight shortcut. Highlight player shortcuts. Highlights UI. Hide player shortcut. Highlights UI. Okay. This is what makes it visible. Activate shortcut should totally nail it. That should do it. Let's set a breakpoint here. See what's going on. So we're going to say dagger. The index is 47. Hide all of them. Does it contain the key? It does. It says it's visible. Where are we hiding them? Are we calling maybe hide again? Is that my problem? Maybe we're coming back in here by mistake.
Just step
Ah.
through some things that didn't just check that it was null, but actually actively set it to null.
We came back in here. Text changed. Text change is coming from set modifier UI. That's what's happening. We're playing with the modifier. That's clearing it out. What's this? Setting internally. I'm going to change this to this. ST, setting internally is true. Select that block of code, hit the F for finally, and then type in SF down here. And is that going to still work? Yeah, it doesn't like it. It was a really great idea, but I was in a, had already made the call. So let's just copy that, undo, 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 undo. Get out to here. And select all of this, paste. There we go. I think there's a shot this will work. Let's see. Okay, dagger. Hide. Called once. There we go.
Fixed.
That's how I like to do it. All right, longbow, good. All right, Cornelia. Quarterstaff. All right, now let's figure out why isn't weapon is two-handed being checked automatically. You may remember, Roy, we were talking about this before.
Yep.
These checkboxes across the top are built automatically as they are requested or needed by the expressions engine, and the property has got an ask attribute associated with it, so that we can, so that the dungeon master can then decide what they want to do, whether they want to, specify that they're using two-handed or not. What's interesting about this is that these two pieces here, the 1H and the 2H, these are built automatically because the weapon is recognized as being both one-handed and two-handed in terms of options. That data is coming from this table, the weapons table, where we have this column right here. Is it two-handed right here? So that means...
Does that mean that the two-handed ask is somewhat redundant?
It might mean that, yeah. I'm not sure yet. It feels like it, but I've written it so long ago, I'm not sure. I feel like there's a one-handed option here as well. Oh, I guess it is the damage column. If it's got damage one-handed and damage two-handed, that's... If it has it in both places, like this, then we build two shortcuts for it.
Yep.
And actually, it's not the two-handed column. The two-handed column is only if it's only two-handed. But if we have data in both of these places...
Right, so if it's inherently a two-handed weapon only.
Yes, that's what this column is for, right there. But we're looking at these kinds of things here, these pieces. And so, all right. So, because of this, I want to see what's going. I want to see, does the shortcut know if it's two-handed or not? Because it should. Let's go to activate shortcut. Whoops. Nah, yeah, that's where I want to be, right there. I've got a dog right outside my door here. I'm going to, give me a second, Roy, and I'll be right back. You can listen to some music while I'm gone.
Go wrestle the goat. That's right, people. This is a dog called Goat.
What are you
Apparently,
guys
he's going
doing?
to suffer some kind of an identity crisis in his future.
All right.
So Mark, what was the logic, if any, behind naming a dog Goat?
I thought he looked like a goat a little bit in the
Okay,
in
so
the
it's
original.
not because it was chewing everything up, and
No, he was not chewing everything up. He was not doing that. That's no dog. That's Bill. What's that from? I feel like that's a pop culture reference.
I feel a bit that.
Okay, so
Draw a blank.
I've got a breakpoint in here. Let's click on this right here. Here comes the action shortcut. Does it have a two-handed, a weapons property in here? Weapon damage, weapon properties, versatile and melee is all it's bringing in there. Is there a carried weapon? There it is right there. But the carried weapon, is it going to tell me whether it's one-handed or two-handed? Nope.
Got a weapon. But
Yeah, that's going to be ambiguous there. I think... Hold on. Yeah, I want to go look for... Let's just let this run. I want to go look for... Where in the code am I adding that 2H? All right, here we go. Add weapon shortcuts.
So versatile and not melee and ranged.
Yeah, so I'm calling in from weapon here, which has got all of these properties. So I'm basically creating a player action shortcut from the weapon. But we're not actually specifying whether it is one-handed or two-handed. Now I could search for an open paren and a 2H or a 1H, but I don't like having text-based kind of decisions because it's, you know, it doesn't work for localization. The code breaks.
Sure.
So I think what I want to do, I also don't like a lot of parameters, more parameters that fit on screen, but I think I'm going to add another parameter to this, is what I think I'm going to do.
What does the weapon properties versatile mean?
Versatile means it can be used as in both a melee or in a ranged fashion. So you can kind of see what's going on here in the code down here. So if it's melee and it's ranged, then we're going to do these kinds of options right here. So
just underneath that, you do have an else if weapon properties two-handed. Line 362.
two-handed though corresponds to that column, this one right here.
Oh, of course, right. So if you've explicitly said so there, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is two-handed only.
Yeah. So what I think I want to do. Wait. What's this? That's my magic. What's this thing doing here? That's the, what, fourth parameter in? Let's go look at that. Weapon damage. It's a string? Oh, it's the, I see what's going on. Okay. It's this corresponds to these two columns here and here.
Okay.
That's the string there. Okay. I think what I need to do is I need to specify how many hands are on the weapon somewhere in the weapon. Somewhere I've got to add a new property to it, a new parameter. I mean, I'm going to stop the app from running. That's what we're going to do now.
Right, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you there.
Are you insulted by this code?
No.
Wasn't good enough for you, Roy?
Not at all. Not at all. No, I'm just going to go and get food for the family.
All right, buddy.
Sustenance and all that, you know.
You're awesome, buddy.
You're just as awesome.
Trust
me. At the very least.
I somehow
I
disappeared.
suspect your awesomeness is more a magnitudinal set level above mine.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, this is me.
That's my theory.
This is you. Mark, why don't you try this? And this is me. I'm just trying to stay afloat. All right, buddy. Well, we'll see how well I do without you.
All right, bud.
We'll see you later.
We got at least one more this week, haven't we? Tomorrow's Thursday, is that right?
Yeah,
Or
tomorrow's Thursday. Also, today I'm picking up my new computer. What's going on over there?
That's
what are you
big
doing,
crescendo for
Shillelagh?
your new computer.
Oh man! All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Say hi to the family.
Will do, bud.
Take care.
See you.
All right, bye. So yeah, I think I need to. I think I need a new enum is what I kind of feel like I need. Let's play around with hands on weapon like that. And we're going to say 0, 1, or 2 like that. Do we just get a whole bunch of music coming in here? I feel like some magic stuff was happening. Hold on. Can we turn it all off? Did you just break my system, Surly Dev? I think you broke me. Surly. And he continues. Oh, he's doing seeds now. This is different. Hold on. I think it totally broke me. I'm going to have to refresh the drone game, I think. Yeah, it's definitely stress testing. Here's what it looks like in the background right here. With a lot of boomboxes. Yeah, so we launch a new boombox every time we drop that down there. All right, I'm going to refresh it because the cacophony is a little bit crazy. We just refresh that right there. Get one song. I'm going to ask Surly Dev not to stress test me anymore on that. We'll get that. We'll fix that in the future, I think. New boombox. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, what's happening is every time you go down and change the song, it generates a new boombox. And so changing the song occurs when you drop the meteors on it. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out to de-stress that thing. So we don't, because if you just do a whole bunch back to back, it launches all those new ones, all the new players, I think is what's happening. All right, so hands-on weapon is here. I want to add a new property of that type. Call it hands-on weapons. I think hands-on weapons we're in the core already. Cool. Let's put it in its own file. I dropped about 30 meteors in earlier. They've got to drop right on the boombox though for it to work. Are you saying you did it and we didn't hear that? I've only heard it have a problem just now. So hands-on weapon is there. Let's by default set that equal to 0. Then let's get back here. Let's add a new property. A new parameter, right in here. Add the parameter. I guess I got to do it down here. Hands-on weapon dot 1. Like that. This one's going to be 2. This one's going to be 1. That's 1. This one's going to be 2. Whoops. This one's going to be 2, and this one's going to be 1. Hands-on weapon down here. Yeah, rapidly drop meteor after meteor in order to catch one when my drone was bouncing off the left wall. Okay, cool. Hands-on weapon. And then we're going to say result dot hands-on weapon is equal to hands-on weapon. Okay, so that's step 1. I think I can run. And in activate shortcut, we need to figure out how to modify that property. I think it's enough to maybe just change the player state. We can try that, see if that works. That the whole thing should just magically work when we change the property. I hope so, but I could be wrong. Okay, initialize player data. What happened? I just clicked. Okay. Quarter step, one-handed. Now I should have this hands-on weapon property that says 1. Cool. Set control UI from role. Update state UI for player. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it here.
Where are you? We need your help. Oh,
All right, see you shortly.
I am.
I thought weapons is two-handed. I thought two-handed. Wait, is that really what I'm calling it? Weapon is two-handed. Doesn't like me changing the finally, it looks like. Okay. Let's get out of here. Change it here now. I don't like the asymmetry of this, where I'm calling these kind of larger functions and then I've got this kind of weird thing right in here. I'm going to just run it for now. We'll do it one more time. So let's run it. We can clear the breakpoint, run it. Quarterstaff. So this right now is working right here. You can see at least that the D8 is used if it's a two-handed and 1D6 is used here. Let's cast Shillelagh on the quarterstaff. And let's select two-handed. Hey, check it out. Weapon is two-handed. But we didn't get to 1d10. That should be 1d10 instead. Wait, are we doing it the opposite? I think we're doing it the opposite here. I think our code is wrong. Let's go look at our spells. If two-handed, replacement damage dice is a D10, otherwise it's a D8. That code looks right. Am I changing it too late? I might be. This might be happening too late here. Set breakpoint here. And I almost feel like I want to do it in here. Let's try that. All right. Just run it. Okay, so we got a D6 or D8. That means the spell that we cast is no longer working. It's dispelled. We cast the spell though. Shillelagh. Cast it on the quarterstaff. Now, oh, still not. It's like they're completely the opposite. What? If two-handed. Yeah, it's a sequencing problem is what it is. We've got to do it sooner. Let's do this. Let's do it even sooner and see if we can get lucky. And you guys hear something? Look at that guy! Look at Blue Ninja. Was he even here? Yeah, I'm a little bit lost in terms of where this is working, where this is happening here. This line of code changes this. The other line of code we're looking for on player prepares attack. I just want to set a breakpoint in both places to get this sequencing here to see what's happening on this. Okay, run. 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 All right. So, Shillelagh. Cast spell. Quarterstaff. Hey, Code, and hi, Mr. Announceabout, I think you're talking about. All right. So two-handed. Now we're going to trigger it. That means we're going to get out to our... Here, let's just go in. I want to get to our replace damage dice function. I feel like now that I'm stepping through, there's a chance it's all going to work. Here we go. This is coming in, the dice string. It's a 1d8. I forget what I clicked on. So two-handed is false, but it's about to become true. And Shillelagh is no longer working. Let's cast it one more time. Cast spell. I'm working and listening, says Wicked Blue Ninja. All right, one-handed. That's false. And what's my string coming in here? D8. One-handed. So two-handed was false, which means one-handed. D8 is right. And there's a D8 there. And now over here, now two-handed is going to be true. And now, this better be a D10. It's not. Why not? It's like the weapons is two-handed wasn't set at the time we went in there. Two-handed is true. On player, if two-handed, yeah, that should totally be a D10 right there. It is not. Well, we have repeatability. That's the good part of this. Two-handed. All right, let's do one more thing. Let's do it again. Let's repeat this. quarterstaff, two-handed. Player's dot two-handed is now true. Player's two-handed true here. Yep, it is. On player prepares attack. If two-handed. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's the expression engine. I think it's the expression engine. I think the expression engine might need this. Let's see what happens if we do that. Okay, running. Let's initialize player data. Okay. Cast the spell on the quarterstaff. Bring up the quarterstaff. Two-handed is true. What do we get? Got a D10. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the expression engine. It needs this equals true. It can't just be by itself. Okay, it's all right. So back over here. Clear that breakpoint. Oh, we just switched again now. Oh my God. It seemed like it was working, and now it looks like it's not working anymore. Maybe what I thought I saw wasn't working. That should be the D10. That should be the D8. Yeah, it is. How is it that this is the opposite of what we want it to be? Let's make sure I don't have a two-handed property. I want to just make sure I don't have that. That's not the case. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint here. Prepares attack. Just to double check, we're going to go back out to here where we set it. And then we're going to do one more thing. Try to get some data on this. All right, so Shillelagh. Cast the spell. There it is. Now pick up the two-handed quarterstaff. Two-handed is going to go to true. There it is. We're going to get into trigger player prepares attack. Player dot two-handed should still be true. It is. Now I want to, I think I'm looking for a D&D character property here. Get value. Run. Two-handed. What's the result here? So it's not a field, it's a property. Get the property. Get the value of the player. Well, let's look at player. What is it? Are we still two-handed is true? It's true. The object is true. What's my check value here thing doing? Oh. It's going to the attribute. It's checking to see what the state is of the attribute. This is why it's swapping. And it's going to ask the value. It's just going to go get that. And now it switches it back to false. Okay, so we need to set that value. That's what the fix is. And I'm not sure how we set that. We need to update the UI based on that value is what we need to do. All right, so let's run it. Clear a breakpoint here. Okay, at least now it makes sense what's happening. We need to update this UI right here as we're making a change. Okay. I have a feeling we're going to find, if we search for ask attribute in here, nothing. Okay. Add Boolean ask. This is how we create them in the very beginning. WPS. WP is wrap panel, ask UI. Update ask UI. That's what I need to call. We call it at the end of activate shortcut. All right. One more time here. Shillelagh. Cast it on the quarterstaff. Pick up the quarterstaff. Step inside here. Two-handed is true. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, we trigger now. What's our call stack? That's why. Okay. Bug hunting. Creature prepares attack. Prepare attack. Prepare attack, taking action. Creature taking action. Yeah. So we set it here. We have to update it before then. All right, let's change this up. I want to say set player properties based on shortcut. Passing in action shortcut in the player, like that. We're going to do this, and then we're going to say update ask UI for the player. Okay. All right. Let's see if that works now. Okay. All right. One more time. So here's the normal D8 there. D6 there. So I'm looking right up in that space right up there. Cast Shillelagh on it. On the quarterstaff. Clear the breakpoint. I just want this to work. D8. D10. Finally. Finally. Okay. D8, D10. Good. Roll the attack. Nice.
Serious damage.
Serious damage. Okay. Good. Next, I want the magic to appear. What's my time? I got to go get my my new computer. But I think let's check outside. Yeah, looks like Karen is out with the car, so I can't leave anyway. All right, let's try to get magic working on this. Yeah, that happened exactly, Wicked Blue Ninja. That was a tough bug to get. It was like super, like, what is happening? But I feel way better after finding it, as opposed to, you know, having to sit around and think about why the heck is that all happening? Okay, so when we need to figure out how to make it magic. And it's been a long time since I've done the magic stuff. So let's figure that out. Update state UI for player. I feel like there should be a call to update the game. Yeah, that's not where we want to be. Update player scroll on stream. Nope. That does exactly what it says. Let's go and activate shortcut for player. It's in this space right here. I'm going to do this. I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of cheating. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add this line of code here. It says weapon is magic override equals true. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to declare that. Close this down. Inside my character. It's only cheating if you get caught. What kind of system are you getting? I'll give you a link in a second. Let's get this bit of code out while it's in my head here. Jump into character. Weapon is magic override. Where's my other overrides? Override, replace damage dice. Should I use the same convention? Yeah, it should be, and I think I need to use a set call to it as well. I do. So set weapon is magic override to true. Let's rename this to override weapon is magic. Okay. Okay, so we've got override weapon is magic. That's going to be now set remotely. I need to clear it at the right time. I want to find, where am I clearing? Here it is right here, reset player action-based state. Okay. All right, I think that's good. Okay, then we need to react and respond to that out here in main window, I think. Where are the spell effects? Sense shortcut windups. Right here. These windups, I think, are added if it's magic, I think. I think this is where we're going to do it. How do I do that? Not sure how I'm adding them. All right, let's run. Let's see what our breakpoints get us.
This Wickles bitch.
I'm almost arguing that maybe player prepares attack. I'm almost thinking this goes over here. That feels better to me there. Let's download that. Okay, let's initialize player data. Cast a spell on the quarterstaff. Okay. We have 2 windups. Second one is Javelin Magic. Effect available when uses magic, this roll is equal to true. Do I already have a uses magic this roll? I think I do. I think I don't need my override. I think I just need to change this to uses magic this roll. See if that's right. Yep. Okay, that's maybe going to work. Which means we got to go find our override weapon is magic and delete that. I'll just set a marker here for now because we're running. Let's export this. Oh, this is going to be so nice if this works, because that's it. That's a pretty simple solution. Reinitialize player data.
Come see the color book, Cornelia.
Ah, look at that. Nice. Nice. The color is seemingly wrong. It should be adjusted by her hue. But you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a show. That's what I'm going to do. It's not bad. We've got the effect that we want. Scaling is correct. It's got the magic of the feature. Yeah, it looks great either way. It's not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Way better than before, and, you know, it's working. The one thing, though, that would be kind of nice is if the spell is dispelled before the hit is rolled, that the magic, we lose the magic from it. That would be kind of a nice touch, but we do the roll. Oh, the roll doesn't have the magic around it either, though. We need the little magic ring.
Spectacular miss.
Okay, we're going to call it a show. We're going to go send you out to one of the other members of the Live Coders team. Kids, you can't go wrong with Live Coders. I don't know, maybe. Maybe you can. You never know. We'll see. There are a lot of good, high-quality folks out here in the Live Coders team. Just waiting for... Really, it's not... Just to let you know, this is what I'm looking at. There we go, finally. Okay. I agree with that. It's just Wicked Blue Ninja. Yeah. Who do we got here? Let's click the raid button. I'm going to send you CLW. Haven't seen you there in a while. Also, there's a lot of folks out there. InstaFluff, Michael Jolly, all great folks out there. Tell CLW I said hi. And thanks so much. See you, Surly Dev. Thanks for your help, everybody. Appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow.